High conflict personalities. Many individuals with high conflict personalities have personality disorders or related traits, or even features to a lesser extent. Others are just people suffering due to bad situations and reacting in a maladaptive manner. Sometimes both parents have personality disorders or troublesome characteristics. In this section, I want you to ask yourself if any of these traits ring true for you, or are you dealing with this type of person in the other parent? Please use this section to assist you in communicating better, regardless if you are the rabble-rouser or if you are on the receiving end. The storm, unpredictable and moody. These people fear being abandoned and will cling and manipulate you to avoid it. They will suddenly seek revenge and vindication if they perceive being crossed. They will unexpectedly shift their moods when the wind gently blows, often exhibiting disproportionate anger and emotion. Further, they may be impulsive, take significant risks, or be self-destructive and threaten to harm themselves if they're not getting their way. You may have been afraid to leave them for fear of what they would do to you, the children, or to themselves. If you are co-parenting with this type, be consistent and predictable. Listen with empathy, but stay calm no matter what. Also, be direct and factual. Don't double talk, or you will receive a strong reaction. They can perceive any inconsistency in your message because they are attuned to any potential threat or danger. Also, keep a distance with the relationship. You have to balance not getting too close while at the same time not rejecting them. You must maintain your boundaries. Consistently let them know when you are available for exchanges and available to discuss the children, and when the children are available to talk to them while they are in your care. Ensure that you are getting plenty of support. Ensure that you are getting plenty of support and have someone to talk to about your interactions with this person. You will need a sounding board, because if not, you will feel like you are going crazy and you will be questioning your own reality and dealing with them, as they are unpredictable and easily grounded and often way off base. Now, in its worst form, this is often known as the borderline personality disorder. King or queen baby. It's all about me, or I will have a temper tantrum. These people fear being inferior or fear the feeling of powerlessness. They have a sense that they are superior and will let you know it. Everything is a competition to them. They always have a better story, or they quickly maneuver the story into one of their own experiences, leaving you feeling minimized, less important, and confused. Their favorite words are me and I. Their self-absorption prevents them from seeing things from the other's point of view. They feel especially entitled, demand special treatment, and don't have empathy for others. In a high conflict situation, they belittle and demean the other. They may also stand up when the other's sitting and make serious threats to intimidate the other. Even in working with professionals they are seeking help from, they may put them down and insult them, attempting to position themselves on the top. To counter this personality, one must be respectful and resist the impulse to insult them despite their arrogance and insensitivity toward you. In a calm voice, tell them that was unkind, what they've said to you, and that you don't appreciate it. Your aim is not to squabble, but to stand up for yourself and maintain your boundaries. It is true that many of these persons will attempt to size you up, and the milder forms will appreciate you fighting back and will back off as long as there's no public exposure. However, the moderate and severe forms will become even more hateful and mean if you lose your cool while standing up for yourself. And if you are not the king baby or queen baby yourself, You will feel weak in the knees and want to run when receiving the verbal blows. Next, it is important to resist their attempts to gain special treatment, or you open the floodgates. That means do not budge from the agreed upon order unless you absolutely must. It is okay to remind them of their importance, while at the same time reminding them that they have to follow the parenting plan and the agreements and the court orders. Leave every conversation thanking them for their efforts and their great parenting skills. Don't play it up too much, though, or they will assume you are patronizing them and then return with a daisy cutter or bunker buster. In its severest form, this is the narcissistic personality disorder. The melodramatic and grandiloquent center of the universe. These individuals constantly fear being left out and ignored. They are driven to be the center of attention and are constantly dramatic and theatrical. They exaggerate and make up stories to ensure they appear exciting and important, and they are flirtatious, seeking everyone's attraction. And they are so busy being the center of attention and being important that they can't focus on tasks and make decisions. This person may consider themselves a socialite or heiress or prince, and may keep their teenage children away from their husband or wife due to his or her poor stock, failed businesses, and his or her failure to care for his or her family. This person is similar to King Baby or Queen Baby, but there is a greater flare of exaggeration and drama and a greater lack of substance. One of the most obvious signs is when benign or insignificant events occur, like two grade school siblings playing in the sandbox and one tries to give the other a wedgie, and then this event becomes proof that the boys have been molested by their father. Along with this narrative may follow other distant memories that never have previously been reported of similar loosely associated events, proving that the children have been abused by the other parent. To cope with these theatrical people, avoid getting pulled into listening to one of their stories. You can always interrupt their show by bringing up another topic. When discussing an important topic about the children, it's important to plan this ahead of time and bring a brief outline of topics and your positions to discuss and to stay on point. Ensure they are well aware of your time limitations prior to the meeting beginning, and then end the discussion as scheduled. You must create this pattern of ending on time with them, as they often drop a bomb on you after the conversation is just about to be over to rehook you into their chaos. It is important that your parenting plan is designed when they have to manage their own emotions or mistakes it is important that your parenting plan is designed where they have to manage their own emotions or mistakes without you needing to care for them. They will feign stupidity and appear helpless at times to gain your assistance in helping them with their responsibilities or to console them when they're upset. They have to learn to care for themselves. If their personalities have moved into the destructive range where they have made false claims against you, you will need to protect yourself and ensure that you have a witness of your own when exchanging the children or during visitation. A discreet video camera can be used to document these events, but it's important that the children are unaware that you are filming this parent when the children are with you or when the children are not with you and the other parent. So in this severest condition, this is often known as the histrionic personality disorder. My co-parent, the sociopath. Just like the name implies, these people are trouble. They were trouble when you were together, and now that you found out about their double life, you are no longer together. However, you have to learn to co-parent with this dysfunctional character. These individuals fear being dominated, and they seek to find your weaknesses, and when found, they use them to exploit you and control you. They seem to operate without regard for rules, laws, obligations, and feelings. Even if caught, they are constantly lying and deceiving, and often lose track of their own lives. What stands out the most is that after you get to know them more, you realize they are free of remorse and empathy and are not stifled by harming others' feelings. Some even enjoy hurting others physically and emotionally. When others tell you to trust them because they are deeply religious and would therefore never deceive you, be skeptical. They may be playing on your emotions and your beliefs and expectations of good works. When dealing with this type of person, ask for documentation and limit communication to text or email. You have to hold this person to the standard or they will bend and twist the truth or outright lie. Further, you have to pay attention to your gut feeling when dealing with these people. These people sometimes cause a sense of uneasiness or confusion to others. I myself feel the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I am dealing with one of these people. Remember, they can be dangerous. Never accept being bullied by them. If you have to interact with them, always ensure you have a third party present. And again, ensure that all of your communication is documented. Examples of this personality showing up in the family court arena would be an individual having a double life, someone aggressively fighting their case in court despite never having an interest in spending time with the children, or demeaning their future ex-spouse despite the accuser clearly being in the wrong, but seeming to enjoy their future ex-spouse's associated fears and anxieties. These are people also that make agreements with the other party and then deny that it ever happened, or just don't follow the agreements guilt-free. In its severest condition, this is the antisocial personality disorder. Everyone is out to get me. These individuals seem to be walking on eggshells even when none are present, and they fear that everyone is out to get them or exploit them. They doubt friends, family, and professionals and trust no one. They go from therapist to therapist and lawyer to lawyer. They seem to misinterpret ordinary events or comments as demeaning or threatening. They will often accuse you of yelling at them or fighting with them when you may have raised your tone at them just slightly. Yet it was after they provoked you. They also hold on to grudges for years and cannot help you bring up the series of wrongs. Let me repeat that. They also hold on to grudges for years and cannot help but bring up the series of wrongs that you and everyone else has done to them. Because they fear being attacked, they often make a preemptive counterattack, taking those that don't know them well off guard or quickly setting off those that know them well. This person is constantly connecting events that seem loosely connected as conspiracies against them. Managing a co-parent relationship with this hypervigilant or paranoid person takes great patience. It is vitally important that you never appear threatening and you always remain calm. You must be reassuring, but don't expect them to trust you. If you pay a compliment to them, you must believe they deserve it, or they will easily read your disingenuousness, so tread lightly. Find something that you do admire and gently compliment them if possible. Further, don't push them to open up about things or argue against their conspiracies. Respect their cautions and desires to only reveal what they have, only with what they have to with you. Hopefully, they are seeing a good psychologist or therapist that is able to unravel their fears and restore some semblance of trust for them. An example of this type would be a wife fearing that her ex-husband had entered her home based on mail being moved in her home, a blur on the video recording monitor, and a past computer virus on her computer, despite the ex-husband clearly being out of the home and clearly being out of town during that weekend, and she seems to know it yet can't resolve the inconsistent beliefs that she has. In the most severest condition, this is the paranoid personality disorder. The rigid rule follower. This anxious and often angry person expects things to be done a certain way and panics when the rules are bended or when things don't go as expected. When you were together, you could not stand their anal retentiveness. The house not only had to be cleaned, but it had to be sterilized 3 times a day. And your child not only had to dress in a matching outfit, but they had to look and act as if they were in a pageant. Now that you are a co-parent apart, their attempts at control have accelerated, and increasingly panic they are about cleanliness in your home, the child's safety when the child's with you, and the extra hours that each child needs to do for homework when they're spending time with you. They may also insist in absolutely following the agreed upon order to a T, exactly how the order is. It is important not to take their rigidness personally, as it is due to their own anxiety and fears of losing control. To manage them, you don't want to reinforce their rigidness by giving in to their extremes, but you can offer them reassurances and reminders of how the children have been safe and clean with you for years. It is important to keep your calm when you're interacting with them, because if the tension builds between the two of you, their need to control becomes exacerbated. These individuals are both the easiest and difficult personalities to co-parent with, because their behaviors and anxieties truly are not intended to be directed at you, but their expectations are impossible to reach, and they can be exhausting and annoying at the same time. Now, in its most severest form, this is the obsessive-compulsive personality disorder.